Well, it looks like ARK had one more update before the launch of their new title game, Atlas, and with this update, they've added a lot of bug fixes and a lot of tweaks and features. Also, Winter Wonderland is now available to everyone on the servers. I'm going to be going down through the patch notes with you guys on everything that has been changed so far in ARK Extinction and the updates for the PC version of the game. From what I understand, the PS4 version, they're having some issues with it unless they've already released it, though to my knowledge, I don't know if it's out just yet. As of the time recording this, actually, they've got about an hour left until they're supposed to launch Atlas, which is probably out by now. If you don't have the game, you know, go get it, unless it's been delayed. And I'm sure you're curious on what creatures you're seeing right now, and I will go into detail with these as well, however, not the focus of the video. So what have they done in the recent patch of ARK? Well, they had a small patch for Element Veins and also for Winter Wonderland, so they fixed the Gacha Claws loot. Now, Winter Wonderland itself, it's a very... It happens every year. We know what it is by this point. I'm pretty sure you guys know. Raptor claws will just fly through the air 0 a.m. to 2 a.m. in-game time, and while he does, you're going to see presents falling from the sky. They're kind of like loot drops, and on Extinction, they're a little bit harder to see because, well, Extinction's always bright, and around those times in-game, it's pitch black, and they're glowing, so you're gonna have a little bit of trouble on the Extinction map actually seeing them. However, a new addition, Gacha Claws, spawns where you'd find parasaurs on all maps, which would be underground on the Extinction map. I don't know if parasaurs, I don't think they do spawn above ground or anything like that. I'm pretty sure they're just below ground near the forest biome. It's wearing a Santa hat, and obviously you're gonna see holiday colors. It cannot be tamed, does not like being near other wild dinos, so obviously a little bit aggressive, and it accepts coal and gives holiday items in return, and it drops dino candy. When you feed this candy to a tame dino, it gives them a strange effect. It also accepts mistletoes. I just brought up this page for a second too for you guys to see because, well, the holiday event, these are the items that you can actually get or trade for items. And here's the coal and the mistletoe. I don't know what loot you get based off of what you give the Gacha Claws for this season. However, information on the Gacha Claws is basically found right here. It's a pretty, it's pretty easy to tell what this guy is and how he looks, and I'm not really sure on the location of where it would be, unfortunately, but he does have lots of presents. I myself never participate in these kinds of events just because I don't really find them appealing to the type of gameplay that I look for, so I'm not really worried about Christmas events. However, I'm sure you guys will be more than ecstatic to see it if you're into that kind of thing. Its behavior is more or less place mistletoes or coal in the new Gacha Claws' inventory. He will walk around, then sit and eat it, and crystals will grow on his back until they drop. You will get Christmas items with coal. With mistletoes, you will get a variety of quality levels from the Gacha crystals, which turn into armor or weapons when consumed from your inventory. So apparently you do get different items depending on what you give them. Mistletoes probably give you much better stuff than with coal, though coal will give you some unique holiday-specific items. The more mistletoes you give it, the higher chance of it being a higher quality, with a max of 10 consumed at a time. Gacha crystals will oftentimes weigh less than any loot they contain. If any wild creatures are nearby, it's best to kill them, as Gacha Claws hates being near them and will cause them to move more frequently. This is just what you're going to see for color variations of this guy. Very nice ones. All in all, though, it's basically just a free loot giver. He just gives you toys and stuff. Hopefully you guys get something good for it, though. That's basically that. And that is it on Gacha Claws. Now, for those of you who are more interested in the actual changes to the game, which there are some very important ones when it comes to mechs and titans and just how viable mechs are. We're going to get into that in just a second. In Extinction, for this set of patch notes, the titans, yada yada, everything that's there, they fixed some issues with the King Titan and just a bunch of stuff down right here too that you can see if you want to read down through that. However, the big change for me is the titans. They've increased the mech sword damage to tame titans by approximately 9 times. So if you have an ascendant mech and you start attacking a tame titan, you're going to do some serious damage. Like, we're talking, I'd say, in the range of 10,000, 15,000 damage. At least that's from what I've seen on my own server with an ascendant mech and how much damage. I think it does 1,500 damage a slash, which, I mean, easily you're going to be pushing over 10,000 damage then at that point if you're getting a 9 times damage modifier. And that's going to be detrimental if you get a couple of those to go up against a Titan. Same thing with the mech pistol. It does 3 times more damage when against a tame Titan, which increases the viability tenfold. Like, it's just, this thing is much more versatile and more effective now to use. Titans, unfortunately, did get a nerf as well. They are disabled for 15 minutes after downloading, and they take increased damage during the 15 minutes that they are downloaded. And all in all, that's basically that. Orbital supply drops also received a buff. If you guys remember one of my previous videos with Syntac, we actually tackled a legendary supply drop, which they are the hardest thing you can ever tackle in ARK. They're ridiculous. I think we made it to like wave 3 or wave 5, and it was just, they are so ridiculously hard to tackle. And when we finished this, we felt the quality of the items that we got really wasn't worth what we would have ultimately spent in a real world scenario where we legitimately did it, because we lost so much stuff and we received so little in return. However, it does seem they've buffed the legendary drops in difficulty as well, so that could be an issue for people who aren't geared up. Definitely test the waters before you do anything else. And legendary crates must be completed to wave 7 to eject items. Again, I think we only did to like wave 3 or wave 5. That's all we could do. That's as far as we could get. And that was with using a tech shield generator too. And I'm pretty sure at this point, I think the corrupted creatures got a buff too, where now they do a lot more damage to the tech shield generator and stuff like that too. Surprisingly enough, the Desert Titan also received a buff. It does increase damage when it strikes itself with lightning. So if someone's on your back, you're lightning yourself, you do a lot more damage. I guess that's what that means. I don't think it'll hurt itself either. All in all, the Desert Titan seems like it had some very critical issues dealt with, and that's good. Wait, you could cryo the flock? Really? They count as individual creatures? Oh, dude. Oh no, I gotta find an old patch of ARK and try that. I didn't know you could just, what? I had no idea they were considered their own creature. Surprisingly enough, the Volanosaur also received some changes. It's increased the accuracy of the AoE attack, reduced AoE damage to compensate for increased accuracy, which is kind of like a double-edged sword in this case. They can no longer shoot for too long if they're wild. They fixed some issues with it not doing damage in PvE. They've made improvements to desync between spines and damage, and they've reduced hovering when walking. AoE attacks no longer loot victims as well. The Volanosaur is still a really buggy creature, don't get me wrong. I don't know if they've fixed the issue yet or not, where if it's in turret mode, and it shoots, it'll drain its stam almost instantly. I still have to test that stuff out, but all in all, I mean, at least they've done something and they've addressed the issues with desync with the spines and damage. However, that is something that should not have even existed on the launch of Extinction. This guy as well also got an update, and I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I always fail to do it. They fixed some bug-related animations, and just all in all, you can read it right here. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, they've done some stuff to it, and that's good. The Enforcer as well also has some updates. They fixed instances where the Enforcer could teleport to non-existent walls, and they fixed where it could jump back to its last jump position, which I assume would be a really annoying issue, actually. Scouts have improved tagging accuracy. They have improvements to player inspection mechanics, and scouts will now show floating damage text when damaged. The Ice Titan received a very minor set of updates that fix broken dino animations related to ice breath, and they've increased the collision radius for shoulder corruption, which again, another video that I tried out with Syntac and some of his friends. This thing is just really hard to hit on the corruption of the shoulder, so hopefully the radius being increased means it's going to be easier to tame this thing or even take it down, because that was just hell. Something I don't really understand here, because these fall under Extinction from what I understand. They have the Manticore listed here as well. I wasn't aware you could spawn it on the Extinction map, or maybe you could and I just haven't tried it out. They've increased the server performance as well. They've added support for decimal values, which I'm sure none of you really care about. And the Deodon now does not heal when it is frozen. Also, they fixed the Snow Owl and the baby food consumption rate when it's baby. And that's basically it for all of the patch notes that we have right now, and Winter Wonderland with Raptor Claws. If you do take part in this Winter Wonderland event, or you have, and you've gotten anything cool, let me know in the comment section. I'm kind of interested to know what you guys have been getting for loot, because I myself have never tackled an event like this, and I don't know if it would even be worth it, in my own opinion. I mean, I've seen some of the loot, but I just don't know how frequently the quality is. I don't want to really put the time into it, so that's basically that. You guys let me know, though, what you think down below in the comment section, and let's move into what the hell these creatures that I was showing you before were. So what exactly is the deal with the stuff that I have spawned in here? Well, I'm going to tell you straight up. These are actually modded in creatures, though I thought they were kind of cool, and I found something a little bit more effective, whoops, than Tiny Titans, which was this right here. We actually have very tiny Titans. This guy is barely bigger than me, and it is a much more manageable creature. However, some of the attacks are a little bit weird because, well, they're not scaled. Also, for some reason, this guy's on my shoulders right now. What are you doing? Why are you on top of me? You weigh like 10,000 pounds. 10,000 pounds is a very generous weight loss for you. Let me just... So you can see right off the bat, even though it's a tiny Titan, you know, there are some serious issues with the attacks and everything else. And if you grab something, well, you know, it's just not a good time. I love that thing, though. That thing's probably the most badass creature I've ever seen in ARK. Like, it's just a floating... It's like a floating gas cloud. It's just so cool. It's like the Grim Reaper takes form. Let's see. Last try. Nope, I couldn't grab a Bronto. So that's actually kind of good. But all in all, you get the idea. It's cool that we have these, and there are multiple sizes of this too. There's this guy right here, which is a little bit smaller. Then you got this guy down right there, who is just right there, actually. He's substantially bigger. And then you have the normal size Titan as well. I also like what they did with the colors of this guy. It looks really nice and sleek now. Though it's kind of weird with the stock effects that it has. When it dies, though, it's kind of cool. And it has all of its super attacks, obviously, too. If I try and get this guy right here, we just see. Maybe a bit closer. I might have just had to be closer. No, I can't grab him, but I can do my free Titan special ability. And, bam. Right there. I destroy everything around me. It is super, super powerful. I really like that. Another creature is going to be this thing right here, which now he's stuck inside this. So what is this creature, and what's the deal with it? Well, it's another modded creature, obviously, but it's just... It reminds me of, I think Oblivion or Psycho from the Anunnaki mod. Anunnaki. I think that's Anunnaki. Whatever, that mod anyways. I haven't used it in a long time, so you get the idea. But the Genesis mod, there we go. You guys remember the giant boss that was in that was super powerful and glitchy and stuff? Well, this guy is basically that on steroids. This thing deletes the target instantly. Like, it's not even you don't get a body or anything. It just straight up deletes it. Like, see this Rex right here? Well, goodbye. Just burnt it alive, and now it's gone. Like, that's just it. It kind of reminds me of something from Harry Potter too. The thingies that are terrible and bad for your health. Those, yeah. Now, as far as the stats, clearly not meant to be a creature that you use on your own or anything like that on the server. This is more of an admin creature because it has a ridiculous health pool to go from. I actually feel like if I increase this guy's health much more, crash my game. But that's basically that with this creature. And the last thing I want to show you, by the way, the mods are actually this one and I think this one right here as well. But the mods themselves and the creatures that you can spawn in, let me just see if I can find these guys. I just spawned them down here. So we've actually got these things right here. And it's unique in the way as I've never seen something with the ability to control. I've never seen a mod that gives you the ability to, I guess, control more than one entity at one time. This one lets you control 3. Using this mod, I can actually control up to 3 people at one time. Now, it's a little bit buggy, obviously. It's a little bit derpy, but all in all, I mean, it is kind of cool. It's super overpowered. It's not something that's necessary to use on a server because, I mean, it basically just auto-deletes everything, and that's basically that. But I thought it was kind of cool, and it's unique in the way that I've never seen a mod that lets you control 3 things at once, or even 2 things at once. This is just one giant creature that works really well, in my opinion. It has attacks, but it only has the one single attack right here. And you can see it actually has specimen implants all around it as well, which is kind of interesting, but otherwise, it's just one big giant mess, I guess. It's kind of cool, though, how they land down like that, too. But, guys, I think, for now, that is it on this ARK video and everything I have for you as far as the updates and the news. I know I'm a little bit late to the party on these patch notes. I've been sick. Now Atlas is launching, so I have to focus on that. Oh, boy, don't freeze. Okay, well, guys, leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below on the mods you've seen as well. They're kind of interesting, but I don't think they're out yet for quote-unquote public consumption because... well, I don't think they are. Oh, if you guys want links, let me know in the comment section. Maybe I can give you something. But that's it, guys. Leave a like, and I will see you in the next video.